Yo, 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 what is going on, money team? Little late night action, but I promise you, you're going to go to bed dreaming about this strategy I'm about to teach you and how it makes me $2,000 a day. It's simple, repeatable, it doesn't require indicators, and I'm going to teach you right now. So as always, if you get some value from this video, I appreciate you tapping in, hitting that subscribe button, and if you are trading with prop firms, Tradeify or Apex, make sure you use code Jdun. I'm going to do my absolute best to help you pass your evals, get funded, and get paid out. I've also been trading live every single day on YouTube as well. Not on this YouTube, but on my personal one at Jdun Trades. I'll put it below. So if you want to trade live with me tomorrow for free, tap into YouTube and let's learn to level up together. Now, for today's trade of the day, let's first run it back to how we start off every single day. We're systematic with this. We do the same thing every single morning. First things first, starting at 0-0, we're going to mark pre-market low, and we're going to mark pre-market high. So we got that low marked. We're going to mark pre-market high. Keep those in blue. Now next, after the market opens, we wait 15 minutes. We're going to mark the first 15-minute high. We're going to turn that green. And then we're going to mark the first 15-minute low. So after that's done, we can see that we have a large gap between pre-market high and 15-minute high and pre-market low and 15-minute low. That typically means that in this area is going to be a danger zone, but that doesn't necessarily mean no trade. Just means trade with caution. So we see this aggressive move down. We also want to notice that on this first candle here, we have an aggressive move, higher volume, and we leave this fair value gap right near the opening. So keep that in mind. Now, when we get that initial move down, my first trade that I look at, I do not take this trade. I woke up late today. My kid was screaming, wouldn't eat breakfast, just whole 9 yards. It was a chaotic morning. I was late to market. But if you're trading live with me, you heard me saying, this looks really good for shorts. I was very, very tempted to try shorts, but I didn't. And the reason for that was if you go from this high point here to low point, you find our midline, right, and our 61.8 retracement. So as we moved on up, I don't like when we close our 5-minute above here, but what I did like is when we had a reversal doji with higher red volume, right here, at this level. So as soon as we saw this, right, we had whole psych number up here at this tip of 200. So after we see this close, I was tempted to try shorts in this zone, keeping about 20, 25 points of risk to a high point here, which would have to be the stop loss at 200. And the reason I liked that trade was because if you can enter at 80 or 75 in here, I like to keep my max risk around 25 points. So you have your risk defined, your risk visualized, so you can see exactly what your risk is and where the trade is no longer valid. But then you can also target a very clear target, in this case, low of day. So if you target low of day, have your risk defined here where it's no longer valid, you have a 2.5 risk reward. And that's how I want you guys thinking from now on. That's what I liked in that trade. Again, I did not take that most 9 out of 10 days. I will take that. That's one of my bread and butter strategies and entries. 50% retracement, fair value gap here, aggressive sell candle, rip it to the downside. However, I take a different approach. So I wait for this 15-minute low to be swept. We close this candle here. Now, I actually ended up taking longs up here, and you may be thinking, well, Jdun, that doesn't make sense because the orb closed below. So aren't we supposed to wait for the retest back up and then take the short as we pop down and keep stops here? Typically, yes. But why do I not take it this time? Because on this trend-setting candle, we have lower volume, significantly lower volume with very similar sized candles. So I'm not sold in the move quite yet. I see this move down. I'd want to see us break these lows again and hold in order to go short. Because what I'm seeing in the tape on the 1 minute and the 5 minute is that we likely want to head back up. So we test up here at this 115 area. This is where I enter my longs, right in here. I keep my worst case scenario stop below 95. Ideally, I'll stop at 100, but just in case we get some massive news candle, I keep my hard stops at 95. And I'm targeting on this specific trade. When we go here at 115, I'm going to target with this low here, at least a 1.5 R move, so up about 30 points. Now, we end up getting on this over 40 points. I end up selling my last contracts, in my last MNQ up here, right over this 40-point mark on this pop up. So beautiful, beautiful trade. We never go into drawdown to sell. I end up stopping as I trail my stops up. I end up stopping right around here in this area, leaving for the day. And that is what I look for, my friends, is I want to find places where I can visualize my risk. I stay patient, I stay focused, and I trade with a system every single day. I mean, if you watch me trade live, you see that, right? I say, guys, settle down, choose discipline over dopamine, process over profits, and the results will come. You just must be able to stay patient. That's traders' biggest problem is they can't stay patient. Have discipline, trade with focus, trade like it's a business because it is. Manage your inventory, keep your losses to a minimum, and stack up the wins. That's what I want you guys focused on every single day. Trading smart, trading safe, and when you take those base hits, when you trade to the system, that is how you get your payouts. That's how you stay consistently profitable. That's what I've developed over 9 years of trading and a ton of deep work on discipline and focus. So trade smart, trade safe, nice and easy 6 minutes, rock goodbye to bed, get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. God bless. Have a good night.